I'm trying to do more vlogs as a musician, and I'm failing miserably because I can't do all the fancy edits, but I am going to put something out here today of my thoughts recently. I'm a musician, I'm a songwriter, I'm producing my own music, and I'm learning as I go along. It's really scary, and to be honest, I haven't actually done any work for about 3 weeks. And I started therapy last week, which is probably in conjunction with that. For those that don't know, I started doing music like when I was 25, so 11 years ago. I literally picked up an old kid's guitar and started playing because I didn't have a laptop when I came to London that worked. And so I just kind of played around with that. And that started the journey of me writing songs as well. I'd never written a song, and I just started experimenting. My laptop was smashed, so I couldn't use it to watch stuff, but I could just about make out how to do chords. And that's literally how I learned how to play guitar and write music. So I've kind of always used music since then as an outlet for any anger, trauma I've had before I went to therapy. And it's always consistently been this thing where I feel sad or something bad happens, I go write a song. And that has been romanticised in music, that, most musicians who die very young, they're tortured souls, oh my God, they wrote such brilliant music because they were tortured inside. As much as that's kind of romanticised and people seem to like it, it's really unhealthy, and I don't like that rhetoric at all. Now I'm 36 and I'm still doing music, and one thing I've really become aware of in the last probably 7 months is this. I've done music every which way. I've gone to open mics, I've done festivals, I've worked with signed artists, I've done tours, I've done everything. I've even recorded vocals for really well-known people. But nothing outside of me making music for myself is safe or respectful or compassionate. It's actually really harmful, and I don't like it. I love writing music my way. I like recording music my way. But I absolutely hate and despise everything else outside of how I make music, because it's rooted in competition, ruthlessness, being very dog-eat-dog. Now, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. There's nothing wrong with loving your work. But when you're constantly around people who dog you down or don't like you because you don't kiss their ass, it's just, that's not music to me. I'm a music lover, and I was a music lover before I even picked up a guitar. And music makes me happy. Music brings me a lot of joy, whether I'm writing it, singing it, or listening to it. So for me, any kind of animosity, any kind of competition, and, elitism, it doesn't exist in my world of music. And because I've been doing music for a long time, and I've used music as an outlet for any anger, including when other musicians have been horrible, I've recently moved into a place, and for the first time in 36 years, I'm in a safe home. I live with a really, really great person. I have an awesome friend who is just brilliant. And I'm not doing music as much because I realised that my mind and my body, after all this trauma, after all this running, after all this living in terrible places, being around terrible people, unkind people, my brain, my body, my mind have just almost slipped into the stratosphere. I feel like I'm just floating, and I haven't really recognised or know what I need to do to ground myself. Or maybe this is grounding, I don't know. But one thing I do like doing is writing. I've been writing a blog every Sunday because for the first time I get to express myself in a way that's not about my music. Too many times when I've been playing drums or playing an instrument, lots of people are attracted to me or want to talk to me or want to connect with me because of my voice, because of my lyrics, because of my music. But no one has really wanted to know me as a person, because who I am as a person, to a lot of people in my past, it's been clothed and dressed up as intense, too much, over the top. What people don't realise is that the reason why many people have connected with my voice and my songs and my lyrics is because of who I am as a person, because of what I've gone through, because of what I've processed, because of the trauma I have managed to give a name to, process, dismantle it and rebuild healthy tools instead of living in a perpetual cycle of trauma. People don't really consider that when it comes to musicians. But I am one of those musicians that when things happen to me, I process, I dismantle the harmful narrative, and I build something healthy. I do this by either working with a therapist when I can afford it, or reading books, listening to podcasts, basically learning and absorbing from around the world around me. But I'm kind of tired of being seen as a one-dimensional thing. Yes, I do music. Yes, I have records out there. Yes, I continue to write music and produce. But I am a person first, and my music is simply an extension of who I am. I did an interview back in 2014 where a mental health magazine asked me what was the worst thing about doing music, and I said the fact that when I talk about my mental health and the things that I go through, whether it's assault, whether it's being bullied or harassed or even, trauma, if I put it in a song, it sounds beautiful. If I say it in a conversation, it sounds ugly and people don't want to know. We go on and on about mental health. We need to take care of our mental health. How can we take care of our mental health when we're not even willing to listen to those who are brave enough to talk about it? I haven't felt like putting music up or videos up or anything because that's just not a part of me that I need to keep sharing. I actually want to share parts of me that people are uncomfortable with, that I'm uncomfortable with, but I'm willing to talk about, because when I do talk to people about it, I realize that everyone feels the same. I hope people can try and understand that I'm a musician, but I'm a human first. And I'm always going to put my growth before everything else. I've had people comment and say, well, I'm here for music. I don't want to hear your thoughts. Oh my God, she's just going on and on about her mental health. Oh my God. For me, these people aren't fans. These people are just, they're not the kind of people I'd want to sit and have a conversation with. So I don't care if they don't listen to my music. I don't care if they don't buy my shit. I don't care if they don't like my pages. I'm tired of being a musician and being expected to just always perform. I'm tired of being expected to tolerate so much abuse, so much misogyny, just so I can stand on stage and do something that genuinely brings me the most amount of joy I'll ever experience, I think. Being able to sing and write music and play is a gift I gave to myself. I worked to hone that skill. I worked to convince myself to keep doing it. Not one person on this planet encouraged me. Not one person stood by me. There has been no consistency in my life except for me. So I'm going to continue to share my thoughts. I'm going to continue to share how my mental health is. And I want to say to the people who messaged me directly to say, thank you for speaking about this. It makes me feel seen. Or thank you for speaking about this. It makes me look at things in a different way. I'm really glad that my work, my thoughts, my growth, my music resonates with you. I don't want to be just another musician who just releases music to impress the masses. I want to be a musician that changes the narrative about being a musician. And I'm excited because I'm making music from a place of joy and contentment, not fear, not resentment, and not anger. So I will continue to do blogs every Sunday. But when it comes to performing, I'm going to change the way in which I present my performances, because I have to work so darn hard to get them there in the first place. I do this unsupported by family. I don't have anyone consistent in my life. I do pretty much everything on my own, and it will take as long as it takes. Thank you to everyone who has stuck around for as long as you have. You have no idea how lucky I feel to have people who not only really enjoy my music, but really love listening and engaging in conversations with me. It means a lot, and I really hope you enjoy the music that is to come.